Hey everyone, welcome to this Christmas edition of yoga today. I've dressed up a little bit because it is Christmas Day, so feel free to get a little bit festive as we move our hands to heart center and set our intention for today's practice. I'm going to take some deep breaths here. And just resting the hands back down on the knees, sitting in seated pose. And then we're just going to slowly place our hands on the mat behind our bottom, raising our chest towards the sky, and then exhaling as we roll through the shoulders. Hands are on our knees, and then bending backwards again, and then forwards, dropping the head, hands behind the body, lifting the heart towards the sky, and then hands on the knees, rolling the spine towards the back. Coming into tabletop position now, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, taking our gaze up into cow, and then taking our gaze through the legs for cat pose. Dropping our stomach towards the ground and then rolling the spine towards the sky. And just find your own flow. We're going to roll through this 5 times. Breathing in on cow, exhaling on cat pose. Breathing in, breathing out. And then coming back to neutral spine. Just going to walk the hands forward and gently drop the forehead to the mat. Taking our chest towards the floor. Hips are high. And then coming through to cobra pose. Back into puppy pose. And just alternate through these poses 3 times. Syncing your breath with each movement. Pulling the body forward here. Engaging the core. Back to neutral spine and then tucking the toes into downward facing dog. Taking the hips high. Shoulders away from the ears. Pedaling the legs. Taking a couple of steps forward. And take the chest to the knees before bringing the arms up and overhead and then to heart center. Stepping the left leg back long. Coming into warrior 1, rising the hands above the head. Right leg is bent. Left leg is straight at the back. Maybe getting a bit of a back bend here. Exhaling into warrior 2. Inhaling. Then flipping the front palm. Exhaling into reverse warrior. Running our left arm down our left leg. And then right elbow comes to the right knee and left arm goes long. Our gaze is going past our fingertips. Couple of rounds of breath here before coming back into warrior 2. And then turning the feet on a 45-degree angle. Coming into goddess pose with cactus arms. And then because it's a bit of a Christmas theme, let's go into star pose, 5-pointed star. Give your head a little wobble if you've been on top. And then going to the other side now, left leg is bent front, right leg is back. Going into warrior one, opening the chest towards the sky. Warrior two, flipping the front palm, coming into reverse warrior. And then left elbow goes on left knee as the right arm goes long. Coming back into warrior two. Back into star pose. Fingertips spread wide, engaging the core. And then dropping into goddess pose. Hands on our hips as we slowly forward fold. Hands coming to earth. You can keep the legs straight. Or you can put a slight bend in the legs. Or fold the elbows over each other. Dropping the head heavy. Finding some stillness before bringing the hands to the mat. Taking the arms wide as we inhale. And then bringing the hands to heart center. Facing the top of your mat. Just going to forward fold back into downward facing dog. Dropping the head heavy. Taking the heels towards the mat. Hips are high. Walking the feet in between the hands. Dropping the chest to the thighs. Breathing in, arms are going up and over our head to prayer position. Dropping the left leg back, coming into warrior one. Maybe putting a back bend in it if that feels good for you. Right arm goes long over the right front leg. Left arm and left leg along at the back. Flipping the front palm up and over into reverse warrior. And then straightening both legs. Shifting the body, upper body forward, coming into our triangle pose. So right arm goes down the inside of the right leg, left arm goes straight up into the sky. Maybe not all the way into the sky, towards the sky. Coming back into warrior two. Taking both feet on a 45-degree angle into goddess pose with cactus arms. Maybe popping a smile on your face. Back into star pose. Pretending you're a star at the top of the Christmas tree today. And then changing sides straight into warrior one. Leaning back, opening our heart towards the sky. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Straightening both legs, shifting the upper body forward. And then left arm slides down the inside of the left leg. Right arm goes long. Into warrior two. Star pose. Goddess pose. Hands on our hips as we bend forward over our legs, Put in a slight bend in them if you want to, dropping the head heavy, maybe swaying side to side, finding some fluidity and movement through our spine, hanging heavy, hands on the hips as we slowly raise up from the hips, walking the feet in towards each other, planting down through the left leg, bringing the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Breathing in as we bring the hands high above our head into tree pose. You can turn the hands to the front and spread the fingers wide, one on top of the other, so it looks like a bit of a star for our tree, a one-legged Christmas tree, or taking the arms long, or you can do cactus pose and have some branches on your tree. Maybe you want to do a love heart at your heart center to send some extra love to yourself and to others during this festive season. Hands on our hips, slowly bringing that knee to the front and then changing to the other side. Left leg comes to the inside of the right thigh. Arms are going high above our head. Maybe making a star shape at the top of our tree today. So festive, aren't we? Very Christmassy. Maybe bringing the arms into cactus pose, cactus arms. Maybe creating another little love heart at your heart center. Not sure if that's a yoga thing or not, but still a nice thing to do. Hands on our hips, bringing both feet down to meet each other. Facing your front of your mat again, hands coming down to the mat and then stepping back into downward facing dog. Bending the left leg up and under the body now on a 90-degree angle. We're coming into pigeon pose. Taking the right leg long at the back and untucking the toes. You can stay here on your hands, pulling the body forward, or you can come down onto your forearms. And if you're even more flexible, feel free to take the forehead to the mat. Bringing our hands back to the mat, tucking the toes of the right leg and kicking the left leg back to meet the right in downward facing dog. Change sides now, so the right leg will come up and bend under the body. Left leg will go straight at the back, untucking the toes. Staying high on our hands here. Or if you want a bit more of a deeper stretch, you can come down onto the forearms. Sinking the hips lower to the earth. Taking a couple of rounds of breath here. Your own time before coming back up onto the hands. Kicking the right leg back to meet the left in downward facing dog. Dropping to our knees. Going to bring the right knee under the body. Left leg is going long as we come up onto our right arm. Left arm is going straight up towards the sky. Fingertips are spread wide in both hands. Just going to do 5 circles in one direction. And then we'll do 5 circles in the other direction, maintaining your breath work throughout. And then 5 toe taps. Just working the glutes and the abdominals and the legs in this pose. I'm going to change sides. I'm just going to spin around so that I'm still facing you, but you can go straight onto the other side. Going up onto our left knee and left arm this time. Right arm is going straight up towards the sky. Do 5 forward circles and then 5 backward circles. Continuing to breathe, and then 5 toe taps. Back down onto our knees. We're going to tuck the toes underneath our bottom, sitting nice and tall, really stretching out the toes and the soles of the feet. And then leaning back, placing the hands on the mat behind the feet, opening the heart towards the sky, dropping the head back, getting a beautiful stretch through the thoracic, and then coming forward, sitting nice and tall again, taking a couple of breaths here. Coming down into boat pose as we slowly lower our upper body to the floor. And then coming into reverse tabletop. Toes are pointed, legs are at 90 degrees. And we're just going to tap each toe to the floor to work our abdominals. Hands are flat as if underneath a table. And then taking opposite arm and opposite leg. So left leg long, right arm long, holding for a couple of seconds. Right leg long, left arm long. Trying to get that elongation through the body. Alternating sides. Fingertips are spread wide, toes are pointed. Maintaining your breath work through each movement, really engaging the core and the legs and the arms during this pose, and then gently tucking the knees towards the chest. You don't have to bring them all the way up. We want to maintain integrity through the spine, and then hooking our fingers around our big toes. We're coming into happy baby. I'm sure there's going to be lots of happy babies around the globe today. Celebrating Christmas. And then alternating each leg, pulling the left knee in while the right leg goes long. Right knee comes towards the chest, left leg goes long. Just breathing in and out. Taking the Soles of the feet to the floor now and walking them out to the outside of the mat. We're going to drop our knees to one side and then over to the other side, like a windscreen wiper, I guess. And if it feels good, you can take the foot of the bottom leg and place it over the top of the knee of the top leg. And just let it fall heavy to get a bit of a deeper stretch through the back. And then unraveling that leg, taking it over to the other side. The bottom foot comes up and over the knee of the top leg. Taking a couple of breaths here. Coming back to center. Dropping the knees out to butterfly pose. The soles of the feet come together. We're just going to use our hands and our arms to push our hips away from our upper body. We want to create some space in between the vertebra and the discs along the spine. Give them a bit of breathing space. And bringing the knees up. I'm just going to flow through some pelvic tilts. So rolling the pelvis up towards the face and then taking the chest towards the sky. Just trying to find some fluidity here, some flow at your own pace. Should start to feel a little bit looser through the middle of the back. And then just taking the feet wide, letting the knees fall into each other. Taking a round of breath here before taking the legs long into our final resting pose. Make any last movements that you need. Maybe placing the palms face down and feeling a little bit grounded today. It can be a busy time of year for so many of us. Closing down the eyes. Just want you to fill your heart space now with an overwhelming sense of gratitude. We've got so much to be grateful for in our lives that often we forget to take notice of it and bring it into our awareness. So this is the perfect day to feel gratitude for our health, our wellness, our family, our friends, for your vocation or your career, for your role on this earth. Whatever you're grateful for, just feel your heart exploding with all that gratitude. Maybe this is your turn to feel complete and utter joy. Or maybe there is sorrow in your life. and you just taking some time for yourself is how you practice self-love during the sorrow. Bring in some movement back to the body now, maybe stretching the hands, the body, the legs, the arms. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side. And coming up into seated pose. Closing down the eyes, hands resting on our knees, sitting nice and tall on our sit bones. It was fun to bring you this Christmas themed yoga session today. I hope you enjoyed it. As we take a breath in, bringing our hands to prayer position at our third eye. May we have kind and loving thoughts today. As we move them to our lips, may we speak kind and loving words today, bringing them to our heart center. May we have kind and loving intentions today. What a gift it is to practice yoga on a daily basis. Namaste.